Today on Rappler, a gunman kills at least 8 people and wounds 9 others in a morning rampage in Cavite. COMELEC Chief Sixto Brillantes Jr. refuses to approve the raffle of partyless groups because it violates COMELEC rules. And media NGO Press Emblem campaign says the Philippines is the 7th most dangerous place for reporters. Hello, I'm Ayi Makaraig, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. A man armed with a semi-automatic pistol kills at least 8 people, including 2 children, and wounds 9 others in a residential area in Kawit, Cavite on Friday. The rampage ends when police shoot and kill the gunman. Police say the gunman, identified as Ronald Bae, starts firing at his neighbors at around 9 a.m. using a .45 caliber pistol. Bae then goes from house to house seeking targets. He is allegedly aided by an accomplice. Residents say he was drinking heavily on the night of January 3rd. Police later find evidence of possible drug use in his home. The local government of Cavite is offering a 100,000 peso reward for information on the gunman's accomplice. The death of 7-year-old Stephanie Nicole Ella reignites concerns on gun control in the Philippines. Nicole dies Wednesday after a stray bullet hits her on the head on New Year's Eve. Her family wants the government to act swiftly to prevent another senseless death. Voltaire Tupaz reports.
Bigla niya pong binuksan. Ito po
3 days after 7-year-old Nicole Ella dies from a stray bullet, the family brings her body home. The shooter is still unknown. Authorities conduct a door-to-door investigation and invite 4 men in the neighborhood for questioning. The PNP says there are 242 registered guns in the vicinity of Nicole's home, but they are focusing their investigation only on 45 gun owners based on the type of bullet recovered from her body. During the New Year celebrations, stray bullets injure at least 41 and kill 2, including Nicole. Nicole's family does not want her death to be in vain.
Huwag pong palampasin yung may kagagawan nito kasi kung taon-taon na lang po na malaya siyang nakakagawa ng kairresponsibilidad niya, marami pa pong Nicole, marami pa pong bata na walang kamuwang-muwang sa mundo ang nanakawan ng buhay at pag-asa at pangarap po.
Nicole's death reignites concerns about gun control in the country. PNP records show there are 1.6 million licensed firearms in the Philippines. A third of all licensed guns belong to the military and police. But the Geneva-based Small Arms Survey says the figure may be much higher, up to 5 million guns. Police estimate there are nearly 600,000 loose or unregistered firearms. Politicians are now considering a gun ban during the holidays.
Pumapayag na rin ako na pagdating ng New Year siguro gumawa na lang ng ordinansa o ng memo ang DILG o ng batas na gun ban na muna siguro para at least ma-maintain na mapanatili natin tahimik ang ating lugar. Kung hindi man, di gagawa na lang kami ng ordinansa sa lungsod, Caloocan.
Vice President Jejo Marbinay believes the problem is law enforcement. Malacanang says it will raise the proposals for tighter gun control with the President, a known gun enthusiast. Gun ban or no gun ban, one thing is clear, attitudes need to change. I'm here where Nicole was standing, watching the New Year fireworks. The shooter was not identified, but one thing is clear. The government needs to strengthen its measures to prevent senseless killings like Nicole's from happening again. Voltaire Tupaz, Rappler, Manila.
Commission on Elections Chairman Sixto Brillantes Jr. refuses to approve the results of a partyless raffle because it does not conform to the poll body's rules. On Friday, the COMELEC holds a historic raffle to determine the position of partyless groups on the ballot. But the raffle is nullified because it includes new applicants with the Supreme Court status quo ante-orders. COMELEC rules only permit groups accredited in 2010 to join the raffle. Brillantes says the mistake is a clerical error and the poll body will withdraw some 13 groups that are not supposed to be included. The COMELEC may finalize the order of party list groups in the ballot by Monday. In previous polls, the names were arranged in alphabetical order. The Swiss-based Press Emblem Campaign, or PEC, says the Philippines is the 7th most dangerous place for reporters, with 6 killed in 2012. In its January 3 report, the PEC says 141 journalists are killed in 29 different countries, making 2012 one of the deadliest years for reporters. The number is up by 31% compared to 2011 figures. Syria ranks number 1, followed by Somalia, Pakistan, Mexico, Brazil, the Philippines, Honduras, Bangladesh, and India. In 2009, 32 journalists are murdered in Maguindanao, the worst incidents of election-related violence in Philippine history. Businessman Roberto Ongpin is set to file a criminal case against Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Deputy Governor Nestor Espinilla for asking the appellate court to have his bank accounts frozen. In a statement Friday, Ongpin says Espinilla violated the anti-graft law when he sought the freeze order. The Court of Appeals issues the freeze order after the Ombudsman recommends the filing of charges against Ongpin over an alleged 660 million peso behest loan from the Development Bank of the Philippines in 2009. Ongpin says Espinilla testified during Senate hearings last year that the loans were, quote, prudent and positive and resulted in trading gains for DBP. China is cracking down on a number of high-profile bloggers and activists just days after a new rule comes into effect requiring the use of real identities online. The Washington Post reports the accounts of several activists on popular Chinese microblogging site Weibo are shut down. Those affected include investigative reporter Xi Fake, former chief editor of the Southern Metropolis Daily. She's reporting on the corruption in Chongqing province led to the purge of disgraced politician Bo Xilai. China's government exercises strict control over the use of the internet. On December 28, 2012, China releases new rules that require Weibo users to provide real name identification. Critics of the move say this will dampen the freewheeling discussion on China's version of Twitter. The holidays may be over, but the spirit of the season never really ends for Filipinos. Rappler's editor-at-large Marites Vitog tells us why in her video blog.
What do Finland and the Philippines have in common? These two are polar opposites. Finland is freezing cold and hosts a tiny population of 5.2 million, while the Philippines is oven hot and bursting with 100 million people. But they share the same rank, number 17 among the top 20 most generous countries in the world, according to the World Giving Index of 2012. This means that both countries did well in 3 areas. 1. Donating money to charity. 2. Volunteering time to an organization. And 3. Helping a stranger. In the case of the Philippines, we had one of the highest levels of participation in volunteering time. Overall, Australia was the most generous country in the world. In Southeast Asia, Indonesia was the most giving, and donating money was the most common form of charitable behavior. It is comforting that Filipinos find the time to help people and causes, like teachers and students who join disaster relief efforts, and lawyers who do pro bono work. This speaks well of the values we learn in our homes and schools. And for a New Year's resolution, it wouldn't hurt to think about giving more.
Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 2, around 8 million people are expected to join the annual procession of the Black Nazarene this January 9 in Manila. The procession, which will culminate at the Quiapo Church, brings together devout Catholics from all walks of life. In 2012, authorities shut down cell phone services and tightened security in the area due to a reported terror threat. This year, the police and the military say there are no reports of any threats. At number 3, villagers beat up a local politician accused of raping a woman in a rural village in Assam, India. On Thursday, village women reportedly stripped and slapped Bikram Singh Brahma, a member of the ruling Congress party, for allegedly raping a mother of two. Police later take custody of Brahma. The Assam Congress party also suspends him. The government is under increased pressure to act strongly against rape following the gang rape and death of a young medical student last month. The government sets up a special committee to study changes to the law on rape. At number 5, natural catastrophes in 2012 cost an estimated $160 billion in damage globally, according to Munich Re, the world's leading reinsurer. Around 67% of all losses occur in the U.S., with the year's highest insured loss caused by Hurricane Sandy. Global losses, though, are much lower in 2012 compared to 2011, when large disasters like the earthquakes in Japan and New Zealand resulted in significant losses. And at number 10, internet search giant Google wins a legal battle after the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, finds the company did not violate antitrust rules. The FTC says there is not enough evidence to prove allegations Google manipulated its search results to harm competitors. As part of a settlement agreement, Google will make some of its patented technologies more available to rivals. Google corners up to 70% of search engine traffic in the US. The figure is higher in other markets. Google comes under scrutiny by antitrust regulators in the EU and UK. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click on how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of our front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that got the most clicks. So for today, let's check the moods on the Mood Navigator. We see that the RH law is still very much a burning issue, with 3 circles on the topic with the mood annoyed. From yesterday's Talk Thursday, we have RH law will bring havoc to PH, which had 51% of readers feeling annoyed. A similar story, this one is about the document on the petition for certiorari versus RH law, also has 56% annoyed. But if we look at here on the right side of the page, we have a cluster of green circles. In business, Aquino approves 42 infra projects in 2012, had 77% of readers feeling happy, 17% inspired. But the story that got the most clicks is party list representative as district caretaker of First. This is a controversial political story on Akbayan Representative Kaka Bagao being the caretaker of the Nagat Island. It had 92% of people feeling happy and 6% angry, all contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Friday, January 4, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch your newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Ayi Makaraig, and as we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today. Happy weekend.